National Baseball Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman joins Jane Mitchell one-on-one.
Trevor Hoffman. His number is retired and he's honored here in the Padres Hall of Fame, featured next to his teammate, the late great Tony Gwynn. Now, like number 19, number 51 will forever have a national distinction as a member of the elite National Baseball Hall of Fame. In this one-on-one conversation with Trevor, we'll reflect on his journey from a little kid with obstacles and dreams to a player whose work ethic, attitude, determination, and talent have taken him all the way to Cooperstown. The quaint village of Cooperstown, New York is home to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and the stunning gallery of plaques, the shrine reserved for the best of the best in the game.
Might take years for that to settle in.
Now, Trevor Hoffman is a Hall of Famer, joining only 5 others in the specialty category of relief pitchers, including Raleigh Fingers and Dennis Eckersley. That ever been part of your dream when you were younger?
I never really let myself dream that big.
As the first reliever in his generation, this is a surreal reality.
The Hall of Fame is accepting you is incredible.
A month before induction day, Trevor spends a morning at Petco Park with special guests from the Hartford, sponsor of the MLB Reliever of the Year Awards, renamed in 2014 for Trevor Hoffman and Yankee Mariano Rivera, the all-time saves leaders in their respective leagues.
If your hands and knee are moving, it's going to give you a more rhythm.
Joining us at the owner's suite, an affable Trevor is wearing his uniform and genuine smile. Friendly with the crew.
I want a better clack. Come on, clack again. Nice, that sounded pro right there. Good work.
Sharing pictures from our first meeting in 1997 in Dallas,
Baby Brody,
we begin.
That's crazy. How many times are we talking now?
1997, 1998, 2005, 2011, 2015, and one time in this room when we did the Padres community. So that's just for one-on-one.
That's 6. Lucky 7.
Thank you for sitting down with me again. How are you feeling right now? I mean, knowing that you're...
You know what, just kind of going through those pictures and you think of what we're going to talk about, it's unfathomable to think we're talking about that. You know, you think where it started and kind of what you'd gone through and, you know, humble beginnings, and then to ultimately in a month be in Cooperstown is crazy.
With perspective and access to the one-on-one archives from airing on Cox Channel 4's San Diego, the TV home of the Padres for 15 years, we can celebrate and more deeply appreciate his road to enshrinement. The interview in '98 at his mother's home followed his first All-Star appearance.
I'm really scared of my job.
With humor and humility, we learned his story. His mother, Mickey, a British ballerina, married his father, Ed, a Marine, who sang opera and at Angels games in Anaheim, where they raised their family. At 6 weeks old, Trevor had a bad kidney removed. Undeterred, he played with his 2 older brothers. First, a smaller kid, Trevor grew. Inspired to play baseball like brother Glenn with the Red Sox, the shortstop pitcher worked hard through Savannah High School, the University of Arizona, was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds, then the Marlins, and traded to the Padres. By 2005,
Trace let me have this little area,
One
the big
area.
hallway.
he showed us his new home's baseball display, chronicling his career.
I'll be back in here and I'll have Channel 4 Padres going and all the one-on-ones up on the TV one day. And I'll just be back here just pretending I'm still playing.
We've also captured the stages of his heart, his marriage to Tracy, a Buffalo Bills cheerleader and real estate agent he met in the minors while at Instructional League.
My parents asked me, you know, what does he do? Well, he used to play baseball, but I guess he was really bad, so now he's done with his career. So I had no idea.
We've watched their 3 boys grow up in the game, making a special entrance at his 2011 retirement celebration.
You gave me 3 wonderful children, 3 wonderful boys, Brody, Quinn, and Wyatt.
What have you learned most from your dad?
Think of others instead of yourself.
You know, if somebody's just not doing great and it's not their day, you just have to go the extra mile to cheer them up.
He's a professional
He's just a
parent.
loving dad.
As for being called over the years a future Hall of Famer,
If the writers feel that that's something that they want to bestow upon me, then that would be a great honor.
do you let yourself think about it
Absolutely.
a little more?
My career's over with. There's not anything I can do to change it. I'm not coming back from retirement, and the numbers are what they are. My career has stood for what it stood for, and that's when you kind of hand it off to the writers.
Recalling now how he was cautious but optimistic his first year of eligibility, 2016.
Just not knowing how they were going to really vote on the reliever position. And so much was made of, a couple handfuls of poor outings, big stages for sure, but, does that take away of a career of work?
So that first year when they were announcing where were you and what was that like to?
Driving back from Verona Casino, pretty crazy. It was a little bit weather issue. I just got done playing in Phil Nevin's golf tournament, and I'm like, I at least probably need to be at home, in case I get a phone call. Walked through the front door, and I think Trace was the only one that was there. The boys weren't around, and we kind of sat through the hour, and then the tabulations came out, and I'm like, 67% is awesome. People are like calling to say, sorry, okay. I'm like, kidding me? I'm elated. This is amazing.
So the next year, thinking
A little more
maybe.
prepared. A little more prepared. We had cameras in the house. 2 boys were in town. They were there, and sat through kind of that awkward NFL draft day where you're kind of sitting there waiting for the phone ring and it doesn't ring. You're waiting for your name to be called and it doesn't get called. But was pretty comfortable with it.
Just 1% shy of the 75% needed, would his third time on the ballot be his time? On January 24th, 2018, with family, friends, and all eyes on the clock.
I'm sitting at the table, got my phone in front of me, and then my phone rings, and the room kind of went, and I kind of went, and I look down at my phone, and I see Glenn Hoffman, and he's about 10 feet, he's about where you are, Dino, and I go, oh, don't worry about it, it's just Glenn Hoffman calling me, and the room erupted with laughter, and it cut the tension that was there, and then the phone call came in about 10 minutes later.
Describe it.
It's undescribable. It really is. It's an accumulation of work that you want to try and get there. In a moment, in a split second, your career passes before your eyes, and then you try and catch yourself and get back in the moment and gather, to answer Jack because he's on the other line. It's like lose it and see you later. But yeah, just the fact that the Hall of Fame is accepting you is incredible.
So what did your mom say to you and Tracy and the boys?
Super proud, super happy for me. Trace was relieved. I could tell that she was just really excited that it just tied together everything really well, and the boys could be there. But Mom just was, just said, "I'm really proud of you, hon."
I'm sure you were thinking about your dad when you got that call.
Oh yeah, I wish he could have been there. He'd have been super pumped. Would have had a nice cigar that night, but. Yeah, I miss Dad.
Shortly after the call, Trevor and the Hoffman family traveled to Petco Park.
It's a great day to be a Padre fan. It's an even better day to be Trevor Hoffman.
You get blasted with a lot of emotions. Emotions that you think about your teammates, you think about the grind that you go through on a daily basis that this game demands of you.
From celebrations including bobblehead night for number 51 and fans posting favorite Hoffy memories, he's enjoying how San Diego is happy for him.
That's been a nice kick in the pants, to be honest with you. To know that there's been a lot of excitement around the city because of it, and super proud to be a San Diegan.
Soon to be honored with a bronze statue next to one of Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn.
To be another part of Padre history like that I'm super thankful.
Up next on One, honoring the obstacles, how and why Trevor Hoffman pushed through the hard times. And later, the speech, how much will he or won't he share in advance of Induction Day? The stunning Padres Hall of Fame Museum captures the achievements and contributions of Padres greats, including Trevor Hoffman, number 51, during his 15 seasons in San Diego. It showcases the 7-time All-Stars team and national records, breaking Lee Smith's long-standing saves record, then number 500, and his key role in the '98 National League Championship season and other postseason play.
I always liked being on the mound when we had a chance to clinch. Any of the big moments with the Pods was awesome in '98, '96, '05, '06. The focal point where everybody's coming. The individual stuff is great, but anytime we had the opportunity to raise a banner was awesome.
In his home collection, a team jersey and ball from the astounding number 600 and 601st saves. And while several former Padres players are in Cooperstown, Trevor Hoffman is only the third to go in wearing a Padres cap on his plaque. The first two, Dave Winfield and Tony Gwynn.
How would you pitch, Ted? Carefully.
Trevor and Tracy Hoffman traveled to Cooperstown
Anyway, this is a Negro Leagues bat used by Cool Papa Bell, but I wanted you to feel the weight on that guy.
for a tour of the Hall of Fame Museum and archives.
Sandy Koufax, fourth no-hitter.
Oh, wow.
Only 1% of the 19,000 players to wear a Major League uniform have become Hall of Famers.
Trace, take a picture of this, please.
And Trevor sits where his class of 2018 plaque will hang forever.
Come into the Hall and Museum today and I feel how small I am in relation to so many greats, and I'm certainly humbled by the honor.
Numbers and achievements paint part of the picture of an honoree's plaque, but that's only part of their story. So I'd like to go through what I call honoring the obstacles, because the obstacles are largely often what get you to be successful. Do you agree?
No, you have to go through failure to be able
through.
to come out on the other end, for sure.
And not always even failure, but just decisions that you have to make or mindsets. While he didn't have a choice of having a kidney removed as a baby, you certainly didn't
My
let that
world
stop
changed
you.
because of it, for sure.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water, no contact sports.
When the University of Arizona decision makers didn't want to risk his getting hit by a ball, he helped them see otherwise.
I'm a right-handed hitter, so this side, I'm not affected because it's not on this side.
Then the Cincinnati Reds didn't want him as a shortstop because...
Couldn't hit the slider, so better learn how to throw one.
And offered him a pitcher spot.
That's probably the real fork on the road for me, is that I never felt disrespected. I never felt like, dirty or that, I couldn't do something. It was like, instead of focusing on what was ending, I focused more on the opportunity that was going to present itself.
And then you were traded to San Diego for a popular Gary Sheffield, but that wasn't maybe an obstacle, but do you feel that you grew from that, you learned from that?
That's interesting, because, it kind of feels like, of anything, that was probably one of the bigger things I had to get over. Because I was trying to appease everybody in town that loved Gary and do it all in my first outings. It was a bad homestand. The Cincinnati, Chicago homestand, I was giving up runs, and I know people were like, oh my gosh, we just gave up Gary Sheffield, a potential Triple Crown winner, for this guy that we're being told is, whatever. And that was a weight of the world. And then to go on that next road trip wasn't an easy road trip. So I think I finally had to figure out, like, hey, you're not doing this for anybody else but yourself. Focus in on what you need to try and take care of.
Then when the baseball strike happened in '94, you were out playing volleyball and tweak your shoulder?
I got a lot of obstacles, don't I?
I'm telling you, makes.
Hey, you know what? It's August. It's beautiful in San Diego. What should you be doing on the beach? I'm playing volleyball. Now, not when you're a professional athlete and you potentially could get hurt. And I dove for a ball like an outfielder would, was fully extended. I made a nice play. We kept the ball alive. I don't know if we won the point, but no, things changed from that moment forward with my arm.
Tell us what changed.
I was stiff and achy, so I was now faced with things I was going to have to do to kind of keep it strong and get it ready for each and every game I was going to go into.
Along with his running and workout routine, changing his grip to his trademark changeup.
Oh, here we go. Once I threw it in the game for the first time and I saw the reaction of the hitter, I go, I might have something pretty good here.
Of course, lots of good things are happening in between them, so I'm not ignoring that. I'm hitting the obstacles here. The most visual when Trevor time was on pause, missing most of 2003 following shoulder surgery. Is it hurting?
A little bit, but that's kind of part of the thing you got to go through as well.
Oh.
There's really no guarantees. There's no forecast of where you're going to be at. And a little scary.
I didn't want that to be the final chapter, and so it's all we had left to go back to the work, drawing board.
And it worked.
It worked.
After the 2008 season, the Padres did not re-sign him.
Got a little contentious. I think the only thing I really wanted was kind of a face-to-face being told, and to be kind of told over the phone was not something that I really liked, but maybe it helped me kind of move on a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. And so, looking back, the 2 years that we spent in Milwaukee were awesome, great fan base. Really amazing people in an organization that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to meet.
Even as a Brewer, he struggled on the field, on the brink of that 600 saves mark.
It would have been hard to walk away from the game at 588 or 98 or something like that, no doubt. And we're able to, I was able to kind of prove that I was figuring some things out, and enough where I could be trusted with a lead again. I talked the talk for a long time. Now it was an opportunity to walk the walk and to really embrace my teammates and embrace the kids that were in my role. I think it was awesome to be able to have that mentoring opportunity, and it really kind of paid back a lot of dividends.
And there it is, Trevor Hoffman, a milestone number 600.
In 2011, accepting an offer to work with the Padres, he's celebrated with a spectacular ceremony, retiring his number.
I'm going to take a little page out of Tony's book, and that's what I'm going to say is thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been an unbelievable day.
Does it ever click with you how you have influenced a lot of people?
I appreciate that angle and that thought. I would hope that they can draw something positive from someone else's journey. And, certainly being a celebrity per se in town and someone of focus that people can see, and if they take that away, that's awesome, because I had examples growing up, whether it was my parents and my brothers, and now being married for 25 years to get to see what Tracy did in the household, to give me the opportunity to go to work and be comfortable with that, and then to now see my children go through things, it's a circle of life, and so super thankful that people might have gotten something out of my career.
A national baseball audience may have heard about Trevor Time and how Trevor Hoffman entered games to the AC/DC song Hell's Bells since 1998. But on Induction Day, that audience will learn so much more about number 51. The field in front of the Induction Day stage is dotted with team colors as fans from all over celebrate their heroes. The brilliant baseball landscape is a view Trevor Hoffman will have on July 29, 2018, as he steps to the podium along with fellow inductees Vladimir Guerrero, Jim Tomei, Chipper Jones, Jack Morris, and Alan Trammell.
So let's talk about the speech. You've written it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like under lock and key?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can't talk much about it.
When you walk through your journey, what are some of the who are some of the people that you for sure will thank?
July 29th will be a great date that you're going to get a chance to hear that. Oh, Jane, it's beautiful. It's going to be awesome. But like you said, the people that helped me get to that point behind the podium, even people that like John Wooden is going to be a big part of it, in the sense that he'll be the overlying theme. He was such a big part of how we raised the boys with Inch and Miles and his pyramid of success. And so he had building blocks to be your personal best. I think I'll have building blocks with a lot of people that will be mentioned.
And we saw you read that book to your boys in 2005.
Don't make excuses, complain, or whine. Enjoy your work, and success you'll find. That's what I'm talking about.
Those are the types of things that we've seen, but the rest of the country or people who are watching don't know that about you. And I think you have an audience that will be inspired.
No doubt, no doubt. And again, it'll be hard to get it all done in 10 minutes, but you got to be respectful of a big class, and it's going to be a long, hot day.
Yeah. So what will you say about your family?
I love them. We tried a different angle at this.
How about your coaches?
I love them all. I think I will take a page out of Dick's start, in that he wanted to make sure he knew that everyone had a really big impact, but to go up there and try and let everyone know, that's not going to be able to be done. And so, to everyone who knows had a big part, know that they had a big part about it.
Do you have a theme for it, or well,
I
you
just
said
told you.
Enchilada. You said that.
You're not getting any
No,
more.
I know. I'll get there.
And just when it seems he won't offer any more,
Everything that always gets brought up is about mom and my brothers and how I was raised and certain things. But looking back, really the support of Charlie and Nancy were pretty big in that Tracy's parents. You got to have help from different places, and they were always there to pick up the slack when it came to the kids, and allowing her to kind of be able to travel and not have to worry about things, and so that she could kind of see me wherever I was at, and they're constantly helping us out now. So it's to have that support has been really big.
while his speech will encapsulate his story, we have witnessed it for 20 years. His values of donating time and money for community and charity work, saluting the military, and giving scholarships for kids of Marine parents. Interviews over time, portals to who he is and who he wants to be.
The guys that's going to give 100%, that when he's been given a task to do, that he's going to do it wholeheartedly. And God plays a role in our family, and played a role in me being healthy. And I'm very thankful for the many blessings that I do have.
That's what we work for. I mean, that's who we are.
I wanted to look across the field and say, I outworked you. And I got a lot of satisfaction in that. That was just kind of an edge that I wanted to create rather than a cheating edge.
To achieve true success, you don't take any shortcuts. And so, I'm pretty happy that the era I played in was pretty diluted and dirty at times, but I stayed the course and did it the right way.
Hall of Fame Chairman Jane Forbes Clark writes that the inductees set standards that will endure, just as their bronze plaques in Cooperstown will. But it was their integrity that made them Hall of Famers. That fits Trevor Hoffman. Down to earth yet exceptional. And like the day in 2011, a full ballpark embraced him for being Mr. San Diego and heard an old familiar voice from the archives. Now, all of baseball can be proud of Trevor Hoffman's new Hall of Fame moniker. Certainly, his dad would be.
I know he's super happy up in heaven and really, really tickled pink.
And the home mother
Being in the National Baseball Hall of Fame was never really part of the baseball dream for Trevor Hoffman, but now he has found himself forever enshrined. His road to Cooperstown has been decorated with anticipation, excitement, pride, joy, and a lot of love. Our thanks to Trevor Hoffman for letting us all be part of his magnificent ride. I'm Jane Mitchell. Thank you for watching One on One.
This edition of Jane Mitchell One-on-One with Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman was made possible by a generous grant from Becky Morse.